and welcome to the Front Office Podcast. I'm your host, Marcus Cameron, and as always, today's show is sponsored by Tees and Trees. Tees and Trees is where we stand on business. Welcome back. I'm glad everybody's back, subscribing. A few people hit me up about getting the episode out, so good to see everybody back in the new year. Hope everybody had a great holiday. And let's get straight to it. It is Saturday. I don't know the date. I'm going to be real honest with y'all. I just got off a shift. I don't know the exact date, but it's Saturday, I think the 20th or the 19th or something. And it is playoff Sunday. The playoffs are finally here. Us loyal football fans, man, it's our favorite time of the year. It's a little weird kind of time of the year, though, because honestly, we all know it's going to end in February, and then we're not going to have no more football till August. So, and that's really when everybody starts paying attention to the NBA. So, nonetheless, I think we got some great games today. Before we get to the games, though, I want to kind of just recap what happened last weekend. Two big teams upsets, Dallas Cowboys, Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, if you're a Dallas fan, man, it sucks. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what's going on, like, Stephen A. is always right when it comes down to y'all. Like, y'all always going to be Dallas at the end of the day until y'all change that narrative. I don't know if keeping Mike McCarthy is a great, ideal coaching move, but I'm not going to kill him like everybody trying to rip him on TV and saying, oh, it's the dumbest thing ever, is this. I mean, what other good coaches are you feel like is going to get you to the Super Bowl right now? Honestly, Nick Saban, not working for Jerry Jones. Who's out there? Bill O'Brien just got hired with Ohio State as an OC. Lane Kiffin is probably on the move. Jim Harbaugh probably doesn't want to work for Jerry Jones. So I think you're just going to have to deal with that and just build and continue to build and just push off of that. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles, on the other hand, that is a weird situation a little bit. I don't agree with trying to fire the guy who just got you to the Super Bowl. And maybe I'm naive. I mean, football is not really my sport, but at the same time, I feel like I know enough about it to speak on it. And I would just say, honestly, man, I don't know if you can fire that dude. Like, you didn't have your number one wide receiver going to play Tampa Bay. Your quarterback's banged up, just broke his finger or whatever, dislocated his throwing hand the week before. Football is about injuries and who's the healthiest. I feel like that's the biggest thing. If you can be healthy or your team is deep enough to where if you lose a piece here, a piece there, you can put it back together till this guy gets ready. That has as much to do with winning as the talent on the field. Health is a big thing, and I just don't think they were healthy. You went down to a Bucs team with nothing to lose. Shout out to Baker Mayfield. Twan, shout out to Twan. Twan is like one of the only Bucs fans I know. But Twan, they was ready. They beat us. They beat the Vikings the first game of the season in Minnesota, and Baker looked good. Baker looked good last weekend. I thought he was poised in the pocket. He's hit his weapons. He was fired up. He was talking shit. Being Baker Mayfield. It's interesting how he can do that, but James couldn't. That's another topic for another day. But we'll move on. I thought Green Bay, even though, everybody wants to get on Dallas, you should have won. Got to give some credit to Green Bay, man. Like, they really played well. Like, that's probably the best I've ever seen Jordan Love play. And we play him twice a year, every year, sometimes 3 times, depending on how the playoff seasons work and things of that nature. But he looked great. Those wide receivers look unguardable. We'll see if it translates till tomorrow. I think they play tomorrow. Yeah, they play tomorrow. Today's Saturday. They play tomorrow. Shout out to C.J. Stroud, Texans. Even though I feel like the Browns were just overmatched. Like, I just felt like they were overachieving. Shout out to Gary, huge Cleveland Browns fan. They were just overachieving all year. From Watson going down to Chubb going down, then your backup quarterback goes down. Like, they weren't healthy. Some of their biggest pieces weren't healthy. That defense was great, but then they started not getting healthy, and I just feel like it was an overmatched thing. DeMeco Ryan is doing an amazing job with the Texans. He really is. He's fired up. Like I said before, like, these young players, man, you can kind of hit them a little bit better if they can relate to you. I'm sorry if the light flickering a little bit. I'm not sure why it's doing that, but just try to stay with me. I'm not sure why it's doing that. As far as I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. D'Amico Ryan is what I was saying. D'Amico Ryan, he's been these coaches, the younger coaches are doing well. The younger coaches are doing well. I feel like they can relate to the players. Guys like Mike Tomlin, he's a good guy. A bit of an asshole, honestly. I'll get into that on a different show, but he's been doing his thing in Pittsburgh for a long time. They always make the playoffs. Never had a losing season. Those are great attributes. He's getting a little older now, but he has those players' respect, and I think that goes a long way. Big news: Big Bill Belichick retired. I'm not sure how that plays out, but I do like the hire of Gerard Mayo. I'm not sure if shout out to Alvin Staley. He called it. We was at work and he said that they were going to hire Mayo, and I'm like, man, they're not going to get that job to that dude. But they gave it to him fast, real quick. So that must be in the works. That must be what Bill thought was probably the best move, or maybe it was just all Robert Kraft. Robert Kraft doesn't get enough credit as an owner who knows what he's doing. He definitely knows what he's doing. He's got all those Super Bowls. He's helped build these teams. He understands how the game go, and if you feel like Gerard Mayo's the guy, then Gerard Mayo's the guy, for sure. That's a big shout out to him. Not sure what Bill Belichick is going to do. I don't see him taking another job. They keep saying Atlanta, places like that. He used the word retiring. So, I mean, if he comes out, I think he probably wants to do TV maybe a year, and then maybe we'll see what he does, but not immediately. I've heard Atlanta. I've heard Dallas, and I just don't see it. I don't see it. But, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's get to the picks today. Today and tomorrow. I want to make sure I give them out. Prize Picks, you are not sponsoring the show currently, but we would love to do some business with y'all. So, man, please like, share, and tag Prize Picks in this. I'm going to put up my picks for the day and tomorrow. I'm doing a 2-day parlay. I love the app. Great app. Does a good job of paying when it's supposed to pay. Easy to use. Great app. So, Prize Picks, if you're listening, the Front Office Podcast wants to work with you. Get at us. All right, so the first game of the day is the Baltimore Ravens and the Houston Texans. I'm actually looking really forward to this game. All of the games have potential to be good games, but I do think we're going to get some blowouts, and I think this is one of them. Baltimore is right now the most complete team besides San Francisco, besides the Niners. I think in the AFC is Baltimore, and in the NFC, I think it's San Francisco as far as just having everything you need to get to that next level, which is the Super Bowl for these guys. Baltimore is playing at home. I love C.J. Stroud. I liked him when he was in Ohio State. Me and my wife went to go see him live when they played Georgia in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. He was amazing. He's had a great year. I just don't think he's going to be able to get it done down in Baltimore. That defense is too tough. And this is not Joe Flacco. No shot at Joe Flacco, but this ain't Joe Flacco that's going against this defense. This is Lamar Jackson, who has proven all year that he is still Lamar Jackson. He's been efficient. He's lost his number one target in Mark Andrews, and he's still finding ways to get guys the ball. Zay Flowers has had a great rookie year. They still got OBJ, and he can definitely get active at any time. The backup tight end is from Coastal Carolina, Isaiah Likely. Having a good year. Shout out to him. My son actually wants to go to Coastal, so that's a good look on his part. But I like the Ravens, and I don't think it's going to be close. I think the Ravens are going to blow them out. I'd probably take +7. Hopefully it's a good game. I do. I don't want to see a blowout, but I just think the Ravens, first game, they had that extra week to rest. They're going to be ready. But let's move to the second game of the day. Packers and 49ers. I was mistaken. The 49ers do play today. Everything in me wants to take Green Bay. Everything in me wants to take Green Bay just because of what they did last week. But you have to look at it, or I would like to look at it in the sense of San Francisco got a lot of film. They have a great defense, just like Dallas does. I think their defenses are stronger in different points, and I think that portion of it is going to help San Francisco get the win. Um, Dallas linebackers are not terrible, but they're not great. The 49ers linebackers are great. Dallas defensive backs, of course, they're missing Trayvon Diggs. Excuse me, but they're not terrible. The 49ers secondary is pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Once you get past that line and those linebackers, if that quarterback has enough time to get the ball off, yeah, he's going to find some guys. They're going to be open. I can promise you they're going to be open, but that front line is so good. Those linebackers are so good. So it'll be an interesting chess match to see. Jordan Love is a little mobile. Can throw those weird throws, throw him on the run, got a great arm. Really been playing like real calm, poised football lately. I'd say probably like the last 4 weeks of the season. I'm hoping this is a good game, but I do think this is a blowout too. I think the games tonight are blowouts. Today are blowouts. I think tomorrow's games, but I'm going with the Niners in that game. Tomorrow's games, man, are I think where we're going to see more closer games. The Bucks and Detroit. At Detroit, I'm definitely taking Detroit. I like Dan Campbell's energy. Their team is together. You know, from the first press conference, he's been all about that team, and he's built them. Even though they play in my division, man, you know, you got to give it up for Detroit, man. They've had a great run, playoff run. That was a big win against the Rams. The Rams didn't give them anything, and Jared Goff might be legit. He might be legit. I mean, this is the same guy who went to a Super Bowl. He lost, but he did take his team all the way to the Super Bowl all year. So we got to give him some props. Their running game is really good. Defense is good, outstanding. They're well coached, creative, young. They got everything you need. I like Detroit. Baker's gonna have to have a really good game, and Mike, they're gonna have to scheme well. And with Todd Bowles on the sideline, we'll see what happens, but not sure how that's gonna go. But the most interesting game is gonna be the Chiefs and the Bills. Now, this has turned into a grudge match over the past couple of years. Everybody remembers, the 15-second drive, and they get the field goal, they win the game. They've played a couple times since then. Patrick Mahomes always seems to get the best of Josh Allen. Nobody circles the wagons like the Bills, though, man. Like I really thought they were out of the playoffs, and they just made a run and been beating everybody. So it's gonna be, and it's in Buffalo. This is Patrick Mahomes' first road game. Now, I personally don't put too much into that road home when it comes down to playoffs. Everybody should be locked in, whether you're on the road, whether you're home, whatever. You should be locked in. I mean, it is a factor, the cold, but they play in Kansas City. They're used to cold. Maybe not that Buffalo cold, but they are used to cold. We're going to see. I'm going to take the Chiefs. I don't want to bet against Pat Mahomes. Josh Allen, it has to prove to me he's not going to find a way to lose the game and give you the ball. Great year, though. Great quarterback. Sorry, Frank. I mean, me and Frank bet all the time, so we got 50 on it. I like the Chiefs. I like the Chiefs to win that. So that's the Chiefs, Lions, Ravens, and Niners. That's my picks for the weekend. It should be, like I said, I hope we all get some great football this weekend. I hope it's not a blowout. I hope it's not anything not worth watching. I got to work till 11, so a great games all day will be amazing. A big shout out to my man Kwa, man. He's opening his Canada coffee shop. I'm probably saying that wrong, but I'm giving you a shout out, man, because you the homie, so I want to make sure I show you some love. I'm gonna stop by there real quick, man. Grab me a quick cup of coffee and get on back. As always, man, we appreciate y'all checking in, man. Thank you for all the subscribers. Any new subscribers, man, welcome to the channel. We're not stopping this year. We're going to ramp it up. We're going to have some more episodes weekly. I'm going to try to do at least 2 weekly. That's the goal. Elwood's going to be more present, and we're going to keep bringing exactly what we've been bringing all year, which is honest truth about, how I feel about the sports. I'm not here to chastise anybody or anything like that, or make it or disrespect. Or I'm not even here for clicks and likes. If you like football, you like basketball, you like to want to hear what somebody else's thought process is. Tune in, man. Don't be the quiet subscriber, man. Comment on the channel. Comment whenever you disagree. I love the disagreement. That's a good talking point. That's something that is great interaction. So I'm with the shits with that. Again, the Front Office Podcast is sponsored by Tees and Trees, man. We appreciate y'all checking in. I'm out. Peace. The Front Office Podcast is brought to you by Tees and Trees Clothing. Tees and Trees is where we stand on business.